Oh shit! That's coming up.
11. That's shit. What's today's? Oh, it's the 7th.
Yeah.
9, 7, 11.
This is not up for debate.
September 7th.
Yup.
Already.
Yeah, this year moved by way too fast.
Kids are back to
It
school.
seemed like it moved way. I said this before, but it feel like it moved way too fast. But the summer, for some reason, just seemed extended.
Yeah.
Like it was like a Game of Thrones type summer. You know, the summers that last like 10 years.
When the fuck's it over?
Nights of summer. Nights of summer.
Not up for debate.
Not up for debate.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. We're not up for debate. We are in fucking control.
Bars.
Did you practice that all week?
This
Bars.
afternoon.
That was off the top of the
This
head.
afternoon.
That was off the top of the
This
head.
afternoon. I did that because
You should have did it like in the Eminem voice.
No, that was actually
Too hot to handle.
That was that was
Too cold to hold. The foreign corn.
Yo, can we start with this? This has been a tough week for me, man.
I had an argument in the office with somebody. The dude, like he pulled the fucking the cliche go to white boy debate, and this was coming from an older black dude. Like when we was talking about Jay and Eminem, he brought up Renegade. like come on, man. Like
Yo, listen.
I asked him. I said, yo, first of all, scratch that. Who has more influence right now, Eminem or Jay? He's like, it don't matter. Renegade.
Listen, in the last 18 years, I never ever thought that I would see a time like we're in right now, where Eminem is getting slaughtered the way he is.
Yeah, because you're on social media with a bunch of teenagers that don't give a shit about anything.
The Roosters come to
cry. Like it's been so. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been very uncomfortable. Like this,
it's been like on a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I've been seeing people like posting stuff on like Instagram, and they're like, like M is this, and I'm just like, shit, man, like.
That's all he's doing. If he didn't like as good as this,
it is.
As good as this last album was. Like I'm not trying to say it's that good. I mean, it's a big improvement from the last album. If he never dropped this album, people would have been like, "Oh, Revival's just another trash album." They would have left it at that.
They would have.
The fact that he came out with this album saying like, "Yeah, I know it's trash. Shut up." Like what I'm saying? Now niggas like, all right, we might have to. Your whole discography look funny in the light. Let's go through this real quick.
There were a lot of thoughts that I've had over the years listening to the albums. A lot of like the thoughts that kind of get pushed in the back of your head when you really like something.
Yeah.
And you just push through and you find the things that you like, and it just kind of gives you a better like overview, right? There are a lot if you listen throughout the albums where there's a lot of like kind of moments where it's just like like.
Why that bar?
Yeah, and
why that pattern?
Well, that's what's going to happen. They're going to dissect them.
Yeah, and that's what.
And I don't think he knew that was going to happen.
Nah, he wasn't prepared.
Yeah, because he usually drops and then like disappears. The thing is, like how we feel about Eminem, all this mixed feelings towards Eminem. Like it's always been there. It's like I was like not trying to get too far off the rails. It's like the whole Bill Cosby situation. Like, people's been saying shit about Bill Cosby for a long time. It just wasn't until, like, we're in a viral age now where the Hannibal Buress video happened. Niggas like, oh, yeah, he touched me, too. The same thing with Eminem. I felt for a long time Eminem has been, at best, mediocre. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, we have these platforms now where people are coming together. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for like the past 10 years, I've been afraid to listen to Eminem albums because of how much I love Eminem.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear disappointment. I felt the same thing about Hove at certain points when I hear he's gonna have a guest verse on somebody's song, because Hove, he's known to half-ass things from here and there.
Yeah, but usually his guest verse would actually.
M had a nice little pocket for a while where it was like there was a bit of over romanticizing of Eminem and like his career and things like that, but it fit, it worked, it was fine, it was okay. Like he was. I
knew what it was. I like, not to cut you off. What I thought it was mainly and I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to use this to take away from his greatness, but what I'm saying, just the mere fact that it's white privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like when Eminem came, he brought a whole new like batch of listeners. You know what I'm saying? Like for a lot of people, their first introduction to rap was Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So, and it carried. You know what I'm saying? You know, white people, that, you know, when they love their artists, they love their artists. There's a reason why Bruce Springsteen can still sell out fucking stadiums at age 80. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
White people support the people they love.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more, and I think we're seeing this a lot. We're seeing this with a lot of stars where, and these superstars of yesterday are having hard times, like, fitting in.
Generational.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, listen, like, if you think about it, right, we're a year and a half from 2020. Like, shit is already different from, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, from the time when these people were on fucking top, you look at everybody who's come up and they're still, like, killing it.
Even
Drake.
Look at somebody like J. Cole.
Yeah.
Who was relatively young in the rap game. He's already having to address the new age of rap that's coming in.
Exactly. So it's like they're two steps ahead of like the last generation. So they're having, I think these artists are having a very hard time like adjusting. And this is what I was saying last week about M and his insecurities. And I think Nicki has these insecurities. Yeah. Kanye has these insecurities where they really work against them.
You know what the common factor, the common denominator amongst all of them is the star factor. It's just that, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? A great example to use here is Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Snoop drops albums every fucking year, but nobody ever talks about it. But I don't think Snoop cares, so it doesn't take away from his actual creative process.
Keep doing
you know
cool
what I'm saying?
Shit.
Guys like Kanye, guys like Nicki, Eminem, obviously now, they're still trying to be stars. And to be stars, you have to drop something that, you know, everybody, even the new kids want to listen to. And, you know, and that takes away from the creative process and shit.
But that's where they're fucking up.
Yeah, that's where
they're trying to play this game. Like, they need to be stars, and they need to find a way to, like, I keep thinking, I listened to this,
I don't even think it's that. All right, so take it back and let's kind of unpack that, because I don't think it's that they feel like they want to adapt to the new game. I think that's when they fuck up. I think it's like, y'all really like this new shit?
They're expecting the game to adapt to them.
Yeah, they expect the game to adapt to them. It's like, you used to like what I do, but now you like this shit?
Yeah.
This shit is nothing like what I do. You know
Their feelings are hurt.
So what people don't understand is that hip-hop is a young man's game. It's always been. That's what it's based off.
Since the first episode,
it's a young. It's like it kind of changes with the generation. So you can't get mad if your generation don't fit. You know what I'm saying? The problem is we never really, because hip hop is so young, relatively young. It's starting to age now. We didn't know how they was going to treat the legends. You know what I'm saying? They already treated like the legends from the 80s pretty badly. Yeah. But now, you know, you got
they
people
all
like
still live in the hood.
You got people like Eminem and stuff like that who made a ton of money off of hip hop, who could probably tour off their old material, but they don't want to gracefully bow into that you know, like, all right,
wash.
I'm in the, not even a wash, but you're in like the,
they're afraid of the
legendary, you're the legendary R&B act. You should be doing what Puff do. And we talk about this all the time. Like, what's your retirement plan?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we talked about how Joe Budden actually found a niche for himself.
Yep.
Jay-Z, even though he drops an album, that is not his main source of income, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a plan. Puff has a plan. Like, all these legends have something they're doing. Dr. Dre doesn't need to drop another drop of music for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a plan. M really didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was really M's move? Like, he could have did movies. He probably should be doing movies. He probably should be producing.
He had a lot of buzz after 8 Mile.
I'm not even mad at M's production. I know people shit on it, but I think it fits for his demographic and stuff like that. Maybe M should produce. But I feel like because hip-hop is a young man's game, it's hard for these superstars to really see that shift. And somebody who is isolated as an M, who is isolated as Nicki Minaj, or any of these superstars, they don't have nobody to tell them no. Same thing with Kanye. Yeah. Kanye just tweeted today. He's like, yo, I like being a boss because it's hard to get people on board. It's easier to tell people what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said
That's
that.
That's a shitty perspective. I wouldn't work with him either.
Yeah, it's
like a Hallmark card, though. I like that. I like how that sounds.
Yo, it doesn't work.
Great motto.
It doesn't work in a real fucking management. Like, tell niggas like, yo, I don't want to fucking hear your perspective.
That's like a Ricky Bobby quote.
I don't think 2018 is the time to be telling niggas that when
it's
they got
very
like Twitter.
It's a very heelish thing to say.
That's another thing I want to ask about. This is like as of right now, Kanye is like the creative director for the Pornhub Awards.
Let's get to that later. We don't jump in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, I meant to ask a question. I mean, we don't have to. I mean, yeah, we just get to Kanye later. Never mind.
So with Eminem, like, he's super isolated, and I think that's what Machine Gun Kelly got at him. And I think that shit hurts. It's like, yo, you don't know what's hot in these streets. What the fuck are you gonna tell somebody what's really good with hip hop? Like, where you been? You can't even go outside. Like, you can't even go outside without it costing you money. That was the realest shit MGK said. You have to pay for security. You don't know what's hot in these streets. You're not on social media. You're not engaging with nobody. M has never engaged with people, with his fans.
That shit hit because you just reminded me of that one time niggas caught Eminem in the 7-Eleven just casually getting nachos. Like, and he had this big-ass security guard standing behind him just to get fucking nachos.
He's talked about in the songs about how, you know, he don't like motherfuckers approaching him and Haley when he's out.
Well, that comes with being a celebrity.
I get it. I listen, that is actually my favorite song of M, The Way I Am. Mm-hmm. That's it. Listen, shout out to Famo. We've been trying to get M out the paint since about 1999. Like, I never liked M. Never was an M fan. He never fit my demographic. I seen M live where I was sitting in the section. Nobody gave a fuck what he sung. Nobody did.
Was that Yankee Stadium?
Yeah. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck. He doesn't fit my actual demographic. And that's okay. I never took away from his skills. I never doubted him. I never said he wasn't nice. M is one of the nicest actual technical rappers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ever seen. Like, he's phenomenal. But at the end of the day, I could give a shit what he put out. It doesn't affect me what he does. You know, like, he has been trash for the greater part of the last decade. He has.
That's not a lie.
Yeah, it's like recovery was
I still think Marshall Mathers LP 2 is like it
okay.
sticks out of.
No, that's an actual very good because it had like pop songs, but he did a lot of rapping.
It's that shit since that album came out. I just want to go on record.
It's an M album. I think that
it's
one
more
was
of an M album than.
And what was that? Yeah. That was like 15, 16?
2013.
Was it?
Was it?
No,
yeah, it was 13.
Like
because it won Best Rap Album. That was the year that Iggy was supposed to like clean up, but like because M dropped, it's 2013. It was the tail end of 2013 because this was like right after the Controverse.
Yeah, I can't believe it's that far. Yeah,
shit.
It is 13.
So
that was 5
fucking years ago.
Well, 4 and
so
being technical.
and that was that was a very album.
It was still better than the other. Like I liked it because it was way better than Recovery and Relapse.
That was a big part of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like it's shitty when you have to gauge how good an album is based on how bad the last ones were.
Yeah, and I still don't remember like many songs off it. I know Rap God was on it, and
like Rap God, like that made me excited.
That was 5 fucking years ago.
Yeah, but that was the year Kendrick came out, right?
Kendrick came out the year before, like the tail end.
I felt like,
but he still dominated 2013 because he had the Controverse that year.
Yeah, and I felt like people didn't give a shit that M put out that verse and whatever.
No, they did.
Yeah, or that album. But the thing with like M, I think he's a little out of touch. He's definitely the Donald Trump of things. Like it's funny he went after him, but you acting like
become that far.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing he's doing. You're mad because people called you out on shit that they don't like, so you're just lashing out on them. So you made a whole album of diss records, pretty much what you did, or mocking other people's styles. You mocked Drake's style. You actually mocked J. Cole's style. And Joe Budden pointed out some good shit. You mentioned all those people's names of people that you were either idolizing or you was like, yo, these people are cool. People you respect. But you ain't mentioned nobody from
none of your artists.
None, not one. That hurt.
And Conway is nice, and so is West Side Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Those niggas nice. Hall and Nash. Hall and Nash. I know you love that name.
I love his album because it's all fucking wrestling. The whole album is like titled up like wrestling shit.
Yeah, I also thought it was also telling though, because remember when they did Total Slaughter with Joe Budden Battle Hollow, and that was kind of a big thing for at least for the battle community. Like that's something I felt he should have been there for.
Being a battle
you know what I'm
rapper.
saying? He's like, I'm gonna just foot the bill.
Doing it in 8 Mile.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just foot the bill, throw my name. Like that's the thing. He threw his name on it like above the title and everything. He made it known. Like they made it known that Eminem was producing this. Yeah. You know, so I think he should have gave an effort to at least be there.
That's one thing I want to call out Joe Budden for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he kept mentioning in his, I listened to it a couple times, and I also listened to Crooked Eye. Crooked Eye was right. Like, you keep mentioning this shit that, you know, like, M didn't do anything for you guys. M pumped a lot of music into it, like, whether it was good music or not, he also pumped music and money into you guys. Like, nobody else is crying but Joe when it comes to money. They all got, from what we hear, you know what I'm saying? We only can go on based on what they say, is that everybody kind of got paid. And that M was actually trying with them. That he was going in the booth, he was producing beats. That takes time. You know, it wasn't like M was paying himself. You guys wasn't making money.
Yeah, where I also agree with Crooked Eye at is I mean, I still think Crooked Eye was. I still think
M was attached to a lot of projects with them.
Yeah, I still think Crooked Eye is like crazy up M's ass the way he talks, but I do agree with when he also said that like the way Button said like he had no content. Like I do agree with Crooked Eye there. You know what I'm saying? Just because a lot of shit you was talking about might not apply to you. You know, so it doesn't mean it don't apply to me. The whole substance abuse, this and that. There, like I got with him there.
Yeah.
My thing with that is just that the music's simple. Like there's content. It's just
the early albums. There's a lot of content.
No, we're not talking about the early album. We're talking about let's talk about like the last 10 years. Since 2009 on.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's content. He covers things. It just doesn't sound good. That's my thing. It just don't sound good.
I'm not gonna say M doesn't have content. There's a lot of shit that he just bullshit says, but he does have content. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right, and Crooked Eye was right. You know what I'm saying? It just may not be applicable to you.
Yeah.
And I always thought that about M. Like, you know what I'm saying? Substance abuse it's not my thing for me personally. Just does nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, M's, like his, how would you say it? Like, he's obsessed with pop stars and shit like that.
Yeah, infatuation.
I don't care for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're chasing down pop stars. You're shooting at deers in a cage. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time you shot at people that can actually shoot back, or they don't give a fuck about you. The problem is you think these kids give a shit about you.
A lot of them do,
but not that much.
Tyler's the only nigga who admittedly likes relapse.
No, listen. These kids don't. I don't want you to get it twisted. What I'm saying, they don't give a fuck about you, to respect you, to let you get away with the bullshit you're doing. They'll go after you because
they don't need him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They like the attention. That's one thing they like.
It helps them out. Yeah.
It helps them more than it will help you. So going after like your little Yachty, which he doesn't care. Little Yachty's like shooting at
he don't fuck with nobody. Feels like
he's just having a good time. Yeah. Like shooting at him is just it's like
you going at kids that didn't grow up on your music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They're Lil Wayne's kids.
Yes, they're Wayne's kids.
I feel like people are shitting on them, but it's not like it doesn't seem like malicious. It seems like because I feel like everyone is like, yo, we're giving you the credit that like you
like
are
everything's constructive. Like nobody ever said he's whack. Nobody's gonna ever say he's gonna whack. It's just that you have to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? We need consistently good music. We don't need you phoning in jobs, and we don't need you getting angry at us when we let you have it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Grow up.
Grow up, Marshall.
Grow up, Marshall.
Marshall out here being a jackass. That's basically what it was. He got caught out here being a jackass. Joe called him on his shit. Joe went after him a little extra hard. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny. But, like, I see all the kids making comments and a lot of these, these Eminem stands. He was like, yo, but he ain't make a track. This is 2018. You gotta make a track. That was the track. Yeah. That was the record.
3 hours.
That's the content.
He spent 3 hours
shitting on
addressing this.
Yeah.
That is more than any fucking diss track.
He don't need to make a 3-minute song. No. He just shitted on him and his whole album.
Yeah, you know who that helps? That helps out him and Spotify. You know what I'm saying?
Because
now motherfuckers is good. People tuned in just to see what Joe was. Just to see
what
Joe was
saying. Yeah. They were waiting.
The nigga was trending on Twitter worldwide. He was not in the U.S. He was trending worldwide. Joe Budden.
They were waiting for Joe.
Is happy as fuck.
and his deal doesn't start till next week.
I know. They're probably like salivating at the mouth. Like, this motherfucker's about to make us some money.
Yeah. But like I don't know. At the end of the day, I think Eminem painted himself in a corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's still going to do something stupid. He's going to respond.
He better not.
He's making a diss track, sensitive. Allegedly, and this is what also makes it corny. Like I wish Hov would do some shit like this too. Apparently, it got leaked that Eminem is making a response record to MGK.
Oh yeah, I heard about that for like the last few days.
Why have we heard about that? Well, you know what I'm saying? Since when do niggas
he did a video? He did like a 7-minute.
Since when are there leaks for diss tracks coming? Like,
he just.
How long has it been? Like, how is that still happening? Eminem is too big for that to be happening.
Bro, he just dropped a video where he's playing Pac-Man for like 7 minutes, like just playing Pac-Man. And
my thing is
for the fall. What is it?
I don't know what it's for, but I guess it's something to do with. I guess MGK has like Pac-Man tattoos or some shit. I don't know.
That's some love and hip hop shit. The fact that you have to announce that there's a diss record coming. Like, think about it. Like, Eminem's too big for that. You're too big for that. Like, create your record and then drop it.
Obviously, he's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, he has a lot of time on his hands. He made this album as a response to his negative.
I'll tell you this right now.
The negative comments.
I'll tell you this right now. If fucking Funk Flex go on Twitter right now talking about, yo, I got the wreck in New York, I'm not listening to it.
No, people are going to listen to it. They're going to listen to it.
I'm not listening.
We like
I'm not
content.
listening to it. If Funk Flex have to tell us at 4:00 in the afternoon that there's a new Eminem diss track coming later on at 10, I'm not listening.
Hold on, you know what? You don't want to just witness this beef. Just watch it go down because it could get worse for Eminem.
No, I don't want to see Eminem battle niggas half his age. That's corny. like, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, Hove would never. Like, the most he does is throw a few bars towards Drake because, you know, Drake's trying to beat him, and that's about to humble him. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Hove will let years of shit pile up and just address it in, like, 6 bars. Because he did that on the Blueprint 3 with that first song. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talk about Jimmy. I ain't talk about Ging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Hove, like, I ain't got time for you niggas. You know what I'm saying? But he does need to address MGK. MGK bodied him.
Called him out for them corny ass sweatsuits and hats. I was so happy. That's the corniest dressing rapper forever, yo.
That nigga was legit dressed like a white, like Fidel Castro for like 7 years for no reason.
Because the analytics said it was working.
That's the craziest shit I ever heard. How does analytics tell you what sneakers to wear?
Nigga had them Air Maxes for the analytics.
Lil B has been wearing the same Vans for the past 20 years. You like what the fuck?
Yo,
he don't have problems getting people to
Joe
come to his
really
shows.
got at this nigga.
Eminem with a beard looks like Michael Jackson when he was trying to grow a beard. You remember that? That's what I say. It's weird.
Yo, leave M alone, man.
It's weird.
Like, I think M should retire, man.
Like, why does his
he should.
Like, whenever
this was kamikaze.
It really was a kamikaze. This was a suicide.
This was suicide mission.
He didn't know that.
He did take out somebody.
Like, why when he grows
him in D12?
Like, why does his chin always wrinkle when he grows out his beard?
There's a butt
You
chin.
ever noticed that?
Bizarre's still out there caping for fucking M2, and M don't give a fuck about you, bro.
He got him. He got them brainwashed. He got niggas like him.
Why is he caping for him though? Obviously, he's poor.
Exactly. My nigga look like he fucking like
he had fish frying in the back.
I still think he wears those fucking. You remember them gowns he used to wear in the music videos?
Yeah, with the fucking shower cap.
I think those are his actual like pajamas.
Klondike bar head having his motherfucker. Like this nigga talking about some yo M. Like, yo, what are you talking about? You haven't spoken to M in 6 years, bruh.
Right.
Bitch, I'm for real.
Yo. Like when you text him, he doesn't have your number saved. You have to go like, yeah, this is Bizarre, by the way. Like you're one of those guys.
You had to write your real name in it. Donald. Right. Donnell.
Hey,
Marshall. Bizarre.
Who's this?
Right.
I got a new number.
You had to get patched through to the assistant.
And we hear you out here flying on them Frontier flights too.
Oh man,
we hear about you, Bizarre, man. You piece of shit.
Can we address that real quick? By the way, you know, say it feel like we can transition from here, like the whole Jeffrey, the dude from Bill
Jeffrey Owens.
Jeffrey Owens.
I would like. To
everybody talked about it.
I'm happy for him.
No, I got a question now.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is all right. So, Nicki, for whatever reason, gave him $25,000.
She's a piece of shit.
That's stupid. That was a clear PR move. Clear PR move.
She didn't really do it.
But you know what? If I'm Jeffrey, I'm like, all right, whatever. But all right.
She didn't do it.
And then I guess Tyler Perry offered him a job, and he took it.
That I like. You know,
yeah, he took it. So my question is, everyone's been having this guy's back. You know, the whole job shaming, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Was this a blessing in disguise?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who was the person that recorded? A white person?
Yeah.
Please tell me it was a white person. Yep.
Yeah, it was like a security or something like.
Now she's like retracting and apologizing and shit.
I thought it was like Trader Joe's, like somebody that worked there, like security said they like somebody worked. It might have been a female that worked there.
It was a female. Well, it was a female who took the recording.
Took it. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I will say I did read like the tweet that was attached to it. She wasn't really like shitting on him. Just FYI, like she didn't like really like. It was more of just like, oh, this.
She was like,
guy,
oh my.
Jeff.
Still though, they still like you took a picture. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, hey everybody,
I mean,
look at this.
You can look at that one of two ways. Though you can look at it like, okay, she took this picture, or she took this picture because she recognized this guy. And we live in a society where everyone takes their phone out to take pictures of shit or to videotape.
But come on, she was clearly looking for like the nigga's shirt was dirty, like you know it barely fit him. Like she was looking to fucking like get a reaction.
I don't think this. The more like
he wasn't shaving, like he didn't look. He wasn't camera ready. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, when I'm at work, I don't want nobody taking a fucking picture of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if I am famous. Like, don't take no fucking picture of me.
But that's the world we live in, though. People will do that shit regardless. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the habit of society now. So and looking at all this, like, was this really like a bad thing that this happened for him?
No, this was great. Apparently, he's getting work. He quit his job at Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
and now, he's gonna.
And why was he working there?
What was that?
Why was he working there?
He needed to make a living for himself.
And why was that?
Because he couldn't get no work.
No, I'll tell you why. Nice segue. Because Bill fucking Cosby is going to jail for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah, I walked right into that one. I see you, my nigga. I see you.
Listen, man.
Did not see that coming.
He's been on a PR run. He was on Good Morning America.
That may have a lot to do with why he couldn't get work before, though. Because of association through Bill Cosby.
Yeah, he actually his like royalties and shit got cut when all this shit went down. Like they all lost.
Because he just started working at Trader Joe's 15 months ago.
Yeah, so like this
around the time when Bill Cosby fucked the money up. You fucked the bag up, William Sebastian.
So when I made that realization, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt bad because I'm just like, oh shit, like he's going to jail. But it's like he really. Like this motherfucker, he's just fucking. He fucked it up for a lot of people, man.
Yeah, we might see Keisha Knight Pillman out there. Oh. You know, she just had a baby. She might be out there tricking.
She might be doing more Chingy videos.
Nah, she was already fucking with Tyler Perry. She could have been put this nigga Jeffrey on.
Oh yeah, she was on the show.
She had that crabs in a barrel mentality. She could have been made that call for Jeffrey to come down there.
Yo, Jeffrey, I got you.
Yeah, it was
like, I'm gonna come all the way clean though.
He never hired. Nobody helped.
No, that's what I'm saying. It feels a little patronizing. Now
he said that though.
Yeah, now that people's offering him jobs and he's getting like TV interviews.
He said that.
He said, "Oh, he did." Okay.
Yeah, if I'm Tyler Perry, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have just like made it like a pleasant surprise. Hey, that's that guy. You know
but he said it in a different way. He did it in a different way. But he said that people just felt like, yo, if you needed a job, you could have just been,
just that.
He said,
like, nigga, I've been. What the fuck is an audition for?
You lost my number. Like you know my situation.
That nigga probably heard from his agent for the first time in months. Like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Hey man, heard you getting a new job. You know, I still get that 20% though, right? Yeah, I would have been like, no,
nigga. It was 13, dog.
I wouldn't have said nothing. I'd be like, yo, fuck you. You fired, man.
This fucking agent's Ari Gold or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You fucked him.
Shout out to him. I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, I tell people all the time, it's like, I will shovel shit to feed my kids.
Yeah,
it don't matter. You do what you gotta do. So he did what he had to do. It was no job shaming. You gotta do what you gotta do. Feed your family, my G. You know, at the end of the day, that's all that mattered. That's all that mattered at the end of the day. He had to feed his family. So, you know, like all that bullshit people was trying to go with the whole, you know, like job shaming, making fun of him, like, yo, hard times. Yeah, fuck you.
Yo, and best believe whatever project he gets on is going to get mad views. Just off of the strength of people are going to want to see how this fucking rolls out. You know? I mean, it's kind of a win-win for Tyler Perry.
It was a little goofy. I forgot the name of the show. He's actually
I know he was on.
He did a show. Yeah, he was doing a show before.
He was on It's Always Sunny. He did a cameo, which was mad funny, making fun of himself.
Yeah, he has a funny. He was doing that when he was
funny. He was pretending to be some guy.
Yeah. They were like, aren't you the guy?
Was he trying to smash D? Like,
yo, did you watch this week?
I haven't watched it Sunny.
Yo, it's a fucked up show.
Yeah, it's a great show. It was still on.
It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but like 10 times more savage.
Yeah. This week's episode was real fucking crazy. Mindy Kaling.
She was up there?
She was on the first episode. She was dope. So, I need to talk to you guys about this experience I had this week.
Okay. Let's get into it.
This is the experience of sitting down on my own time, not with Twitter, but by myself.
Not with Twitter?
Not with Twitter.
When are you ever on Twitter?
True, never. Never, ever.
You just been simply say, I sat my phone down.
But I did have intentions of jumping on Twitter because I wanted to, because I missed out the last time this event like this happened. And I really regretted it because I didn't have cable at the time.
Okay.
So this event that I'm talking about was the Bobby Brown story that came on this week.
Get into it.
So I missed the New Edition wave. And I've been kicking myself in the ass ever since. So Tuesday night, it happened to be on, and I got it was like part 3, and I was like, yo, this shit is
part 2.
No, part 3, part 2?
There was only 2 parts.
Okay, so part 2 then, for New Edition.
Oh, New Edition. I'm sorry.
New Edition.
All right, go ahead.
So I watched it, and then I was completely oblivious to it, but I saw the trailer for fucking the Bobby Brown story. So I'm sitting there with my grandmother and shit, and I'm like, yo, we gotta watch this.
Right? I see where this story's going.
So we started talking about Bobby Brown, shit like that, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't watch it that night because I had to be up in the morning to drive to Brooklyn. So I was like, fuck it. So I got home Wednesday night, watched the fucking first part. There was so much shit that came out of that fucking movie that just blew my fucking mind. Like,
you didn't know he smashed Janet?
Nope.
I don't think anybody really knew until
he put it in his book.
Yeah, which I didn't know he had a book. It was a couple years ago. I didn't read it.
Let's stop the bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't read it. No, I didn't.
But apparently, something that made the cutting room floor was not only did he smash Janet, he threw out his hotel room.
Yeah, I heard about that this afternoon. So I have like a whole fucking list of shit that I got from this fucking movie.
He got his own docket. I see.
So all right, right off the top, shout out to Tatiana Ali, who had, I'm gonna have to say,
Tyler cousin.
Yeah, had an amazing performance. Nice little cameo in the beginning of the movie. It was awesome.
Wait, who the fuck did she play?
She was his homeboy's mom. That was her crying, screaming.
That was who's?
That was Bobby's boy that got stabbed.
That was Tatiana Ali?
That was Tatiana Ali.
Holy shit, I didn't notice that.
Screaming her ass off.
Fuck, I was watching this shit on a tablet. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that.
So, the first takeaway, right off the bat, fuck Whitney Houston. Now,
no.
Hold on.
Because Doc kept texting me that all night. Yo, fuck Whitney Houston.
Listen, it's fuck Whitney Houston, but it's not fuck Whitney Houston. It's fuck Whitney Houston because she was a fucking savage from the jump, right? So the actress who played Whitney Houston was fucking amazing.
The casting between this and the New Edition all around was phenomenal.
Fucking top notch. Like, when I say, she had, all of Whitney's fucking mannerisms, even down to the way she said, Bobby.
She seemed like she was from Jersey, too.
Hell yeah, It was fucking crazy. So, Bobby Brown fucked with some wild bitches, yo.
Yeah, Bobby was,
I always heard that.
Hot in a firecracker.
Yo, he really was. I remember, like I said, when I was a kid, when My Prerogative came out and shit, I used to do the dance,
Yeah, Bobby was that shit. He had his own hairstyle and everything.
The Gumby, which was an accident, apparently.
Yeah.
I'll relate this.
Don't worry about it.
So that was fucking crazy. What the fuck did it? Oh shit! Hold on, I got lost my track. This motherfucker gave away all his fucking money. All of his fucking money. Put it into her fucking name.
Was mine is yours. It was yours is mine. That was apparently that was the tagline of episode 2.
Yeah, so it was just crazy. This nigga had 4 kids in 10 years.
Yeah, he was cooking.
He was a fucking rabbit. It was fucking crazy. Quick little side note: BET is fucking killing it.
I want to go that far. I want to go that far.
Listen, this is why.
BET Awards is kind of like
no. They bring hits from the streets
back. Playing a groove.
Okay,
Rap City.
BET, when it's coming to these movies, they're killing it. I think they really they got lightning in the bottle.
Because they know this is their demographic. Mm-hmm. These are people who they actually foster their career, probably help their career at some point. So they know firsthand these stories. You know what I'm saying? So they should be good at them. And they better than Lifetime.
I feel like facts. Yeah. I feel like they're kind of doing the whole Marvel route with kind of creating this whole little universe, bro.
I wanted to bring that up to you guys. I was dope. You have a fucking Bobby Brown movie. You had the New Edition movie. Say they do a Whitney Houston movie. They have this big cinematic universe.
You can fill all the gaps.
Yeah.
The way,
oh my God.
The way the movie played out, Tone, the way the movie plays out, there's gaps in the story. Those gaps are the New Edition movie. Yeah. So it's you can almost if you want to edit one long movie, that's all I kept thinking was you can fill in the movie with the other movie, and it's one whole cohesive
and then you can have cameos of other artists that you want to do movies for.
Yeah, and open up, jump off.
You know what I'm saying? They had Babyface and fucking L.A. Reid in this one. You could have a whole LaFace fucking biopic
on them. Teddy Riley story if you want.
We gotta edit this shit out. BT gotta holler at us offline. Let's do this shit.
VH1 did a couple years ago. They did the TLC one. And it was really good. So with Pebbles and
that's right. I was trying to figure out who it was.
The one they had Little Mama playing it. Yeah, that one was actually good. So.
I think VH1 has like exclusive rights on like Left Eye's life. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Because they had the documentary, that documentary that she was filming when she died.
They all owned by the same company, Viacom. Yeah. So
they can make it happen. Because MTV, they're a bunch of vultures. They don't give a fuck about that type of shit.
MTV, BET, VH1, they're all the same shit.
But yeah, I definitely feel like this Bobby Brown movie, like, I think if they put, like, a little bit more money into it, like, they got to do a movie and put it in the theater. Just give it a run. I think it would do good.
I think it was just fine. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put too many more details, and then you're just rehashing
not so much details, but I'm talking about, like, the Bobby Brown story. That shit should have been, like, a rated R movie. Like, it was, like, for what it was pretty wild, but, like, I think if they had that, like, wiggle room to really, like, that shit would have been a talked about movie, I think.
Right.
Like, possibly, like, motherfuckers really, like, going back to see this shit.
It's one step at a time. I think the Tupac movie would have came out better if it was split into two.
Facts.
Just like the album, like, it seemed like it would have made more sense because it felt like they were just cramming a lot in there.
They have a fucking quality, they needed quality control on that movie. They had iPhones in it.
Yeah.
That Tupac movie was a piece.
So, I'm glad you said that. Props and acting in some of these movies. Yeah. So, there's this one particular scene that kind of, like, irked me, and it made me think about, like, any other movie where this is done. So there's a scene where Bobby is crashing over at his first kid's house, and he wakes up. His son wakes him up, and they have a bowl of cereal, and his son is like, yo, I just got the new NBA Jam. Let's play on the Sega, right? So the controller's sitting there, right? Sitting on the coffee table. There's two fucking controllers sitting right there on the coffee table. Only rich niggas had two Sega controllers where I came from. Normally only had one.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, all right, let's play. So literally, he picks up the controller and they just start playing. No one turned the fucking Sega on. They just picked up the controllers. No one changed the channel.
That wasn't bad. At least it was a real Sega.
It was a real Sega, but I hate when they do that in movies. Where motherfuckers are playing video games with, like, the wrong console or, like,
I got Gamecast.
Yeah, if you pulled out a Jaguar, I got the new Jaguar, Dad. You want to play games? Like, who had that? My next door neighbor in Baltimore had that. Like,
the Jaguar?
He had a Jaguar.
I don't know anyone who ever owned it. Like,
he had
personally.
a Jaguar. He was like,
Did you ever play it?
He was at Tech. Yeah, I played it. He was into tech hard. He had everything. Like, he had the high powered radio car that went like 100 miles an hour or some shit like that.
I'm gonna tell you what's sitting
there. He never came outside. He used to have like all sorts of computers. He was the first person I knew that was on the internet. Like, you know, back like
me, my mom's, my older brother, we have had everything. If we go to my mom's apartment right now, I'm pretty sure we could find something and make a sweet lick off of it. We had every Nintendo. We had TurboGrafx.
What?
We had the 3DO system. We had the Virtual Boy.
That shit give you headaches?
It's sitting in my mom's apartment right now.
Yo, really?
My next door neighbor had shit like that.
I don't know if I should have said that on air. But yeah, we had it all. But for some reason, it took her sweet ass time to get us the fucking PlayStation. But we had everything underneath the fucking moon up until that point. I still have my fucking Game Gear. I believe I have my Game Boy.
I always wanted a Game Gear. I never had one.
I think I have my Game Boy Color right there in that bag, if I'm not mistaken.
I was always Nintendo. Like, I never had a Nintendo. I used to borrow it from my godbrother, but then like the Super Nintendo was my first system.
I used to hate Nintendo only because their Mortal Kombat didn't have blood.
No,
that's what.
And that's what made Sega the shit.
Yeah,
but bringing it back to Sega,
Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out.
Yeah, movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jim Carrey's in it.
Really?
No, I would prefer.
He plays Dr. Robotnik.
I hope they do I hope they do like the anime cartoon, the Sonic X.
Nah, it's like
Sonic X was the shit.
It was the shit.
Oh, it's live action.
Yeah,
with Jim Carrey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like half. It's like the turtle shit. You know, like what they doing half.
So this was like very alarming to me. So depending on, I guess, where you sit with this movie, you're either really like you really loved it, I think you really were into it, or you were like it was a lot of bullshit. Like you were saying
people
before.
like the bullshit.
Yeah. And one of the big arguments that I'm hearing or seeing is that people are feeling like the way that Whitney was portrayed in the movie.
She was a crackhead.
Yes. Now I didn't know her personally, But I think through a combination of the acting and the things that I've like seen and like interviews and shit, and like remember hearing like that shit, a lot of the shit with Whitney seemed very like legit.
It
like,
adds up. Like that.
Like, well, we all
she even said
that relationship was toxic as fuck.
Yeah,
like it was.
She even said that though. I mean, like. She was like, "Yo, Bobby didn't put me on to this shit. Her brother put her on this shit."
Yeah. So I never knew. So all these years, the narrative that I had was that
Bobby was the bad boy.
That Bobby ruined Whitney.
Whitney introduced him to some of this shit.
Yo, he didn't find out that this bitch was doing coke. They were dating for 4 years.
Yeah,
he didn't find out till their fucking wedding day.
Yeah, because he walked in the room.
How the fuck do you get away with that shit for 4 years?
I'm saying when you Whitney, you can make certain moves, man.
It was,
and she was a dyke.
Yeah. That was
that one blew my mind to Robin.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy. And I was like,
I knew that from Whitney's story though.
I asked my mom. I was like, is this Robin shit true? And she was like, yeah. Back in the day, it was like on the low though. Like Whitney. Back then, you can keep shit secret. Back when you were a celebrity.
And Robin and Bobby were supposed to knuckle up. He still owe her the squabble.
Yep.
Yeah, he got squabble up.
Yep.
She might see this shit now and want to squabble up.
Yo. Like there's pictures of Whitney, like I was like Googling like her and like there's mad pictures of her.
You just reminded me.
In the background.
You just reminded me. The one thing I do take away from the movie is how Bobby kept trying to pitch culinary shit. Like nigga, we get it. You make sauce.
Yeah.
like that was the one takeaway from the movie. Like every other scene, he's cooking something and giving somebody food or doing something like involving food for no reason.
But yeah, it was just I thought like I said, I thought the acting was dope. Shout out to Mekhi Phifer because he definitely plays that like older.
That nigga was getting older every scene.
He really was.
Yeah. Man, wait a minute, how the fuck did you just add 5 pounds since the last scene? What the? No, hold on. You're definitely not wearing a fat suit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing more wrinkles and like. Shout out to Mekhi Phifer, man.
Yeah, man. Like he did his thing. He definitely he played that big brother like role very well.
That was definitely Ray J, the dude that Bobby walked
definitely
in,
was Ray J. That was crazy. He looked like Ray J.
Exactly.
I didn't even know I was there. I was just like, oh, he looks like Ray J. And then
the timeline added up.
Yeah, that was a nice little. But no, it was even down to his daughter.
Bobby Christine,
like taking the chick from Power. Like she looked like her. Like when I first saw her, like I had to do it. I paused. I was like, oh shit, that's scary. But it was fucking well done, man. Like I at least for me, like I really did like feel for this motherfucker. Like that whole part of his life, the whole Whitney part of it, like that shit doesn't exist no more. Like it's gone. Like that's just fucking that's crazy, man. To see, like I thought that nigga had no money. Like I thought he was like
people just want somebody. People just want somebody that's there for them in the long run. You know, so I guess we can use this time to segue into like which is developed today was like the passing of Mac Miller.
Yeah.
You know, saying that like when you text that shit, I had to pull over. Like I had to fucking pull over. Like saying like that shit fucked me up because the dude was crazy talented, like, super talented. He's easily, to me, the best white boy out. He was easily the best white boy out, today. That includes Eminem. He was just making good music, Another thing about Mac Miller, I was telling you earlier, he put a lot of niggas on. Like, he took a lot of niggas on their first tour, like YG and them, Casey Veggies, Vince Staples. Like, a lot of these niggas was, like, their first chance. Like, a lot of these niggas got their first recognition to everybody through Mac Miller, Like, he's one of the few niggas, like, I can't name one rapper that had something bad to say about him, like, at all.
Damn.
Like, nobody, He's always had that energy. He even had the fucking MTV show, that show His Daily Life. Like,
I remember that shit,
that wasn't reality TV. That was just reality. That's how that nigga always was. It's just fucking sad, man. It speaks to the whole thing about substance abuse and, and addiction, how people deal with it.
Addiction and mental health and all that stuff. He went through it.
Addiction's a fucking monster, man.
And then people try to, blame. I know, like, when you first text this, my first instinct was to text back, yo, this all Ariana's fault. But, I mean, it's not her fault, what I'm saying? I still think she left them high and dry, Because just because of
how... It's not her responsibility.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. It's not who knows what it was like dealing with an addict, you know what I'm saying? Like
that has
and the thing was access.
Yeah,
shit,
it's like
how you control that.
Yeah, he has his own money.
Yeah,
he has his own handlers. So it's
ain't
like
nobody gonna tell him no.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like I don't. That's why I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. I just don't like I said, I still don't like how like Like, what happened between them should have stayed private. We didn't need her to write a letter.
Been a Jennifer Gardner and drove
I just don't. I just don't like how she wrote the letter, pretty much like explaining herself to fans. Like, no, he's a grown ass man. I was like, no, you obviously care for the nigga. Like, he deserves better than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's what led niggas to say what they said about her.
I mean,
I get it.
Out there defending fucking old sick boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another thing that got me. Like,
old fish. Butt eyes. What they call
butt eyes. How you a comedian? You got sensitive. Like, that's crazy.
Yo, they were getting on
him. He responded.
Yeah, he got his girl responded. Like,
I don't think he got sensitive. I think, but he's a different type of comedian. Yeah. He's not that type of comedian. He's like reluctantly funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it with him. But not to get too off the rails, but just that whole timeline between her leaving him and her getting with Pete Davidson and then that letter and now he's dead. Like, it's just all happening too fast. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's why niggas said what they said about Ariana. Oh, this is her fault. Just because of how fast everything was moving. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't even like 3 months ago where it came out that, you know, now she's with Pete Davidson and then like a month later they're getting fucking married and then fucking Mac Miller gets in, you know, he got into an accident and now he's dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just moving a little too fast. It's life, though.
Yeah, I know.
Living that fast life.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was only getting high on weekends.
No, right. You know what I'm saying?
I still don't think it's fair to even to put
that
on.
No, it's not fair. No,
I don't put nobody.
Like, just to make that clear, I'm not trying to blame her. I'm just trying to like.
I don't even put them in the timeline.
I'm just trying to paint a picture of how a lot of people's probably like looking at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't even want to add her to that picture. He was doing substance. You know, he was doing whatever he was doing before he met her. It's documented in his music for years, and he was doing
his new album. He's talking about it, like
and it was a struggle.
Dropped, right?
Yeah, he has the best song up there. Arguably, is the song called "Self Care." Like,
and he was struggling with it for a while, and he, you know, it happens, man. And people out here need to get help. And the thing is, yo, whatever he was on, it was probably some type of opioids. Like, this shit is no joke. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell people, you know, we joke about it, but I never thought that Future and some of these other rappers, they're not really doing it. They're not doing it. Because people like Wayne and people that were really doing it, they went to either a life-threatening thing or they died.
Yeah.
Or they just look terrible. And Wayne is losing his hair.
Yeah.
Like, is he really?
You don't see... That nigga's balding. He's balding.
He's like dyeing his dreads all the time.
Yeah, that nigga's balding. He does not look good. Like and it looked like he lost weight.
Dude.
Yeah, he lost weight.
He's already small. But like Future, I think them niggas is just it's cool to talk about. But I think they're straight edge.
Yeah.
And definitely
definitely
what's his name? The Weeknd. Mm-hmm. The Weeknd's gaining weight, if anything. And he's starting to look like he's cleaning up nice. Like he's like dressing nice, got a haircut. That nigga was like, I've never done drugs.
Right. Level up on these drugs. Level up on these druggies.
Switch it up.
You addicts.
Nigga try to press him some drugs. He was like, what
the fuck is this?
No, but like to reel it back in, like that's if it's anything you take from this is just, you know, just pay attention, you know what I'm saying, to the people that's closest to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have people in my life, you know, who, you know, deal with these same issues. An incident just happened at my family barbecue I told y'all about, you know what I'm saying? And the scary part about this shit is that you don't really take it serious or really know what's going on until, like, shit hits the fan. Like, you really don't know how bad it is until it gets that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Substance abuse is under mental health.
Yeah.
And you got to take care of your mental health. People abuse drugs because of that. You know, depression or just, you know, whatever they dealing with. So you gotta be aware out here how you treat people. So, you know, like it's fucked up because we don't know what that kid was going through. You know,
no.
Right? We really don't. And he was a good artist, you know. And shout out to Pittsburgh. You know, they really love that nigga. You know, Wiz Khalifa came from Pittsburgh.
Everybody loved that nigga. That nigga had that nigga, like they say, he was good with everybody.
They say he was just a genuinely good dude. You know, just wanted to have a good time. It's crazy out here, and I don't know if because we didn't talk about this last week, but, you know, TMZ had interviewed Demi Lovato's fucking drug dealer. You know, and like...
That was wild,
like,
man.
And the nigga's just walking around. He's just living his life. Like, he's out there fucking slinging drugs that's killing people with fentanyl in it, which is not...
Like, they showed up to his job. Like...
hey, we heard you pumping on this corner.
Like, I don't ever want to, like, I don't want to come like on a high horse, but that shit's really kind of disgusting. Like, as a society, that we could, like, that's where we're at.
Yeah, they giving them fame.
That we're putting these fucking pushers. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't really like follow it too much. When I saw it, I was just like, this is like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's just the bare fact that it happened. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta look at
but they treating opioids way different than they treated any
other
that was in the black community.
Yeah. Yo, if
they treat weed worse.
Yes, they do.
Like, dude, this
guy's still sitting in jail for weed.
These fucking drugs are so easily, like, literally, you can just fucking go into a doctor and they can give you a prescription for fucking 90 days to hold you over in case, let's say something happens to you. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is so fucking loose out there. And we're at the point where it's like, you let someone fucking go die for coke, coke overdose. TMZ, go fucking interview that fucking guy. Guarantee that motherfucker's getting locked up.
Yeah,
throw the fucking way. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
I looked at it from a racial. Yeah, if that was the dealer was black, he'd be in jail. Straight up. Because you see what they did to fucking Michael Jackson's doctor. Like,
yo, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't doing no interviews on TMZ.
He was doing interviews with the judge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
This nigga almost killed Demi Lovato.
They really interviewed a drug dealer that looked like he worked at fucking Hot Topic. Like, come on, man.
Wasn't there a fucking doctor that killed Anna Nicole Smith?
Yeah.
Kanye's mom, too. Anna Nicole Smith. Mm-hmm. And he fucking walked, too. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Still, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's last week news. Like, this nigga right here legit almost killed Demi Lovato. He's doing an interview with Harvey Lemon. Okay.
Fuck TMZ for going after that motherfucker.
TMZ has been on one. They're scary now. They're starting to scare me because they getting the scoop on shit that
I told you them niggas don't miss.
Yeah,
they don't.
They don't miss.
TMZ.
It's scary now. Before everything was up for speculation. Now they're just dead on. Like
they haven't missed in 10 years.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They have too much credibility, and that's scary.
They've been hitting.
I know, but their credibility.
Lil Wayne almost died. That's why I believe when Lil Wayne. Like, I believe that shit.
But because of that, they can do shit like this now, and that's what's scary. Like they can go.
It's society that allows them to do shit like this.
But they've made it acceptable. Like the means that they've gone to get this shit, like it's giving them credibility, but it's also like giving the.
Man, they had the Rihanna pictures first. The Chris Brown shit. Man. They had the Michael Jackson shit first when he died. They had those pictures.
Yeah, the Janet Jackson naked, like sunbathing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
did they have the sex tapes?
Yeah, I'm sure they probably had it first.
They
put Perez Hilton out of business, my nigga.
Yeah, they was like kind of a tandem, but
no, they were at first. They was going neck and neck for who's going to get more scoops. Perez Hilton was getting it because he was sucking niggas off. Yeah. But TMZ
so we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're just hammering niggas over the head.
We got dignity. We got dignity over here.
Fuck Perez Hilton, nigga.
Van Lathan is not sucking nobody's dick over here.
Or Harvey.
Pause. No, Harvey was sucking niggas' dick.
Come on.
No, he's gay.
That doesn't mean you're going to suck niggas' dick for info.
It doesn't mean you can't try.
All he's saying is not out of the picture.
We didn't say that, though. Allegedly.
Allegedly. He gonna dig dirt on us. Right. He gonna put 9 up for debate.
Dude gonna be like, do. Local Beacon podcast. They have a picture of us right now laughing about this shit.
Yo, I see them doing an interview with one of Paul's clients.
Talking shit about Paul's shitty work.
Right?
The nigga did not even finish the job. He was tweeting. The whole fucking time.
They had pictures of me in here showing y'all pictures like this. Pointing at my phone and shit.
They interviewed one of his family members.
Right.
Nigga was like, yeah, but if you really try to get the discount
on
a Plex app, holla at me.
The passphrase is wave.
Nigga shitting on me over some fantasy football type shit.
You know what I'm saying? That nigga Paul started acting different once he got an iPhone.
Nah, I never met the moms, but I named my football league after her.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
This shit was all good a week ago. No, shout out to TMZ, man. They got it, man.
Yeah.
They fucking got it.
I don't want them niggas pulling the scoop on us.
But nah, yeah, that shit is tragic, man. Shout out to Mac Miller, man. Like, because the thing is, he just put out a good album, man. Like, pretty much covering all this shit. And that's the scary things about a lot of these musicians.
He's had a couple good albums.
But we losing too many niggas, man. We lost Tim.
Stop doing drugs.
Stop doing this. Stay off the lean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is
Smoke weed, man. What's wrong with smoking weed?
When did weed not become enough for music?
Because niggas didn't have money.
Rock stars is always doing shit past lean, though. I mean, weed.
Weed is cheap.
But in hip hop, though, when did weed not become enough?
Well, it was just weed and lean.
Nah,
but then like The Weeknd and A$AP Rocky came out and actually made it cool to talk about doing coke.
Yeah, pills and popping pills and shit like that. That's fairly this decade. That was not
it wasn't like that. Like 10 years ago.
No, like 2011. I
mean, you got Beanie Siegel talking about because
Beanie
Siegel was talking about Purple Rain
for like stressful shit, not for recreational purposes though.
But that was still like it was considered
they were doing
like a small.
No, they were sipping syrup.
Yeah.
They were sipping syrup.
That was the only thing besides weed that they actually bragged about doing.
But it wasn't everybody was doing it.
It's a 20-year thing. It's about 15, 20 years.
Shit.
It shouldn't be. Like, lean is a more South thing.
I feel like
Texas, Atlanta, Alabama, they knew about medicine.
That's just
popping pills has always been a thing, but it's just more widely accessed. Yeah. That's what I think it is. I think now it's publicized. And now it's become a problem.
Yeah,
and people are dying. Regular people are dying.
I want to pinpoint this to the year 2011 because I feel like 2011 was a seminal year for music. We have like a lot of different waves come in.
Yeah, but I don't.
Think between A$AP Rocky and
but social media put the light on these people.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. But like. The wave of artists that came out of it, like A$AP and On Future and Krayshawn and like all these fucking and The Weeknd, like all these niggas came out around the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They came with that new chill vibe type music and shit for like, hippies and shit. And and they started talking about the shit they was around. Like A$AP Rocky, he partied around like white kids in Soho and this is the shit they was doing and he put it in the music. You know what I'm saying? Like and then others started taking suit. Travis Scott too. Like all you know what I'm saying? Like 2011 to me was the jumping point for
music.
Yeah,
kind of, but still, Pimp C died in 2007.
Yeah, off lean, something that niggas been doing. But
that's what I'm saying. So they're still people are dying now on opioids. That was happening. That's what I'm saying. DJ Screw died off of sipping syrup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in 1994 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not new. Social media put this on the floor.
Wait, DJ Screw, you said?
Yeah.
Died in 1994?
Or like 2000. Like,
okay.
I think he died.
They were still putting his music. Like, what the fuck?
No, they was all still part. You know what? He might have died early 2000s.
He died really early.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. All right.
Because he did have the screwed up look, but I thought that was just like a collective. But yeah.
2000.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. He died in 2000. And then you have somebody like DJ Pimp C died in 2007. Like this shit's been going on for a while. It's just now why it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's widespread.
Because you got the internet, you got all these new rappers that coming out and they're basically admitting to doing it. It was just nothing you bragged about, but they were doing it. But you never made
cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. RIP to Mac Miller. People, if you know somebody need to get help, get help. Simple as that. Don't bullshit. Don't think it's cool. Get you some weed and settle the fuck down.
Yeah, man. Like what?
Yeah, the people that's close to you, just call. Yeah, people that's close to you, just call them once in the blue moon just to see how they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something like a lot of people will just that's something that'll make anybody's day. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who just feels alone, just like I just want to know somebody cares about me. You know what I'm saying?
I think when you
a simple hello or how you doing can do that.
I think when you become famous, you need to have like one or two people who are able to smack the shit out of you whenever. Like,
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's just like can do that to you, like there's a little bit of fear, but like you won't. You know what I'm saying? Just to like fucking sober you up, to be like, listen, chill the fuck out.
You know what I'm saying? Like a white witness. If y'all haven't checked out that show, please go watch the Random Acts of Flyness. That is the blackest show on TV, and I like.
Shout out to Mark Henry.
Shout out to Mark Henry. He was on. That was the pitching point to get Brandon to watch it.
It was. It really was. It really was. I'm glad you pitched
Shout out to Karen. I had to tell her that Jesse Williams was in this week's episode to get her to watch.
Everybody got to get tricked to watch
it.
Yeah.
Nah, listen, when you lead like with shit like that, it works for me. Like it's
always about the lead.
Yeah, because it was so like out of fucking nowhere when I seen it. I'm like, yo, like, because like I smoke when I watch that show. Like, and like it was just
probably made for that way.
Yeah,
it's definitely out there.
It works.
Like I personally don't believe the world is ready for that show. I don't think they're ready for it.
It's already on it's already been
because it already has
for season 2.
It has it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Even after they threw the shade to the Sopranos, even though they on the same network.
Listen, the Sopranos over.
Yeah, it's been over for like 20 years.
No, that's still HBO's flagship show. That's still HBO's flagship show.
HBO will eat their own babies all the time.
They've had a lot of flagship
What's the higher
shows.
rated show on HBO than the Sopranos?
Game of Thrones?
Close second.
No.
I think it might be a close second.
Hold on.
Game of Thrones.
Sopranos changed things.
If you look at all the hit shows that the HBO has, there's Sopranos, yes. You've had The Wire. You've had Game of Thrones now. You've had True Blood.
I'm going to temporarily retract that statement until I actually sit down and watch The Wire. I still haven't watched The Wire, so I'm going to take everything.
I'm pretty sure Game of Thrones just blows everybody out.
If they don't have it yet, they're about to
Well, now because of the timing, we have social media.
Oh, no.
I'm playing that card. I'm playing that card. Social media plays a big part in that,
just in general, by pure numbers, I'm pretty sure that fucking Game of Thrones hammers anything that
HBO's ever had?
Yeah, number-wise.
I'm going off legacy here. I'm playing the Eminem legacy card.
I don't think the
But anyway,
all right,
Sopranos was hitting.
I can't say that because I haven't really watched Sopranos, so I'm not going to say anything.
That's what I'm saying. People still don't. I know mad people that never watched Sopranos.
Yes, I don't feel like I can't.
People don't watch The Wire, but everybody watches Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's true.
Almost everybody. Nah, Game of Thrones is number one with a bullet. It's not even close. True Blood was up there.
For a long time.
True Blood was holding the flag.
Whack. When people were saying it was whack, they were fucking
I wasn't.
I watched the rest of that show on Wikipedia.
What?
Like the last season, I watched on Wikipedia. I didn't.
True Blood was weird because it was at a time when you had like Twilight and shit out. So like they were like competing. It was weird. It was you had like the.
It was a great time for them.
I watched it for like one season. And
I never got into it.
It was a good show because like
and I seen my son watching it and I was like, oh man,
really?
Yeah, like he was just. I was like, I can't do this shit.
It was good for the moment, like you know what I'm saying, because you had, like you said, you had the Twilight series that was for your teenage daughter. Then you had like True Blood, which was
for your mom.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Your parents, it was your parents' vampire show. You know what I'm saying, and I fuck with it. But then it's like I said, when shows get stupid, I tend to stop watching.
I'm sure Cat House fucking shit. Cat House probably does some numbers.
Cat House is still on demand. They got like 2 episodes. Of
Cat House, they never taken that shit off because it did low key numbers.
Yeah,
why do you think Lamar Odom went? You seen that shit on HBO?
He tried to like buy the place. He went over there and asked for Air Force Amy. Is Air Force Amy still working?
Nah, man.
Yo, that shit was crazy.
That shit was wild.
They would have the lineup of the fucking oh my god, man. That was good jerking off season for me. It really was. It was a good time.
Real sex. I mean, come on, HBO got some bangers. Man. They still show Real Sports with Brian Gumbel's punk ass.
Yeah, I watched Sex and the City thinking it was like going to be a porno or some shit.
There you go. Another one that showed that we Entourage.
You know what?
Sex and the City.
I forgot about Sex and the City.
Yeah,
that's another one.
They have a lot of hits, man.
We got to circle back to create like a list of the top 5 HBO shows.
That's a hard list, though.
The Larry Sanders Show.
Oh, that's
shit. Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
Dennis Miller had one. Tales from the Crypt was on HBO.
Tales from the Crypt. Tracy Takes All.
Shit, yeah.
There's mad shows. I'm just kind of scrolling through them because some of these.
I wish Spawn did well because that show had potential.
It was. I think that Spawn was a little ahead of his time.
It was.
A little ahead of his time.
They weren't ready for shit like that. I think that was like before South Park and shit, or maybe right around
the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, they had Big Love. I used to watch Big Love.
I've heard that shit. I never watched it. They had that Underwood show, or 6 Feet Under, I think it was called.
6 Feet Under. They also had
Girls.
Mm-hmm. Shit, what's that Gangland movie? That old time gang movie?
Band of Brothers
show.
I fuck with the True Detective series.
Westworld,
like
True Detective.
Westworld.
I haven't got back into Westworld.
Oh, Oz. Hold on.
Oz.
Yeah, I think Oz might be number one for.
I intentionally did not bring up Oz.
Oz put a lot of motherfuckers on the
Oz was on TV as long as Sopranos.
That opened up a lot of motherfuckers' eyes to what life in prison was like. That was a crazy show. Out of BC.
No, I'm gonna come clean. You make a fair point about Game of Thrones because, like, whenever I can't decide what to watch, or if I like when I eat, I need to be watching something on TV.
Same way, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I can't figure, I'll just throw in a random episode of Game of Thrones.
Will you not eat until you find a show that you're ready to watch?
Yeah.
So you have your plate of food.
I do that more with like porn.
What, your food?
Man, you just like click through it.
Wait, you watch porn? Hold on. You watch porn when you eat sometimes?
Kanye does.
Apparently.
Kanye just watches porn all the time.
Is it?
Is he a true, he looked like he was actually a true fan.
I don't know if I want to fuck with porn that Kanye watches. I feel like he's into some weird shit.
Apparently he is. And then I seen he came out with the clothing line today, this morning. Just the shirts. It was like 6 shirts. He did a collection with Pornhub.
I thought
he did the awards for Pornhub last night.
He had the names. He had the names in like awards. I thought he was giving shirts out as awards for a second. Like that seemed like a very Kanye thing to do.
He might have been giving out Yeezys.
Because you know how like Kanye, whenever he does like his fashion shows, he like the way he invites people, he sends them pieces of clothing, like a shirt or something. I thought that's how. Dope. Yeah, I thought that's how he was like giving out awards. He was just going to be shirts with the person because it had like a painted version of a porn star, and it had like best something, or it might have been made up. I'm not sure. Yeah. But like I thought those were like the trophies.
And they were only white women, so
yeah.
Yo, Kanye's wild, yo.
Kanye is out.
He moves.
That's what I'm saying. Is he doing too much now?
No, I don't know. He goes through these phases.
Like, it feels like he's just living out fantasies. He's making all these albums with people he always wanted to make albums with. He always wanted to do shit with the Pornhub Awards. He always wanted to be on Family. He always wanted to be on Family Feud. He's on Family Feud.
He always wanted to be a creative director of a award show. Only Pornhub took him serious. Yeah. Which makes sense for them.
I mean, good for Pornhub. That's a great move for it.
It looks.
I mean, they got Kanye West attached to it.
He designed it like it was one of his fashion shows. So if you've seen one of his fashion shows, that's how the awards look. Like it was 7 screens. And it had really no design. It was really like the minimalism, that he likes. And then they all wore like Yeezy stuff. It looks stupid.
Can I make a quick like observation to what we're seeing with Kanye now? Like this feel like, all right, say this is all like a Kanye biopic. Like this feels like the part of the movie. You know how like the part of the movie where like the artist or like the famous person might be down on their luck, so they might they might move to do something quirky or some shit. Like with the fucking Bobby Brown show. Remember how he was down on his luck? His brother's like, yo, you gotta do a reality TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they cut to him in that infamous scene. Like, I feel like this is that part in Kanye's biopic. Because now he's just trying anything. Oh my God, he's on Family Feud. Oh my God, now he's the creative director for Pornhub. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's that part of the biopic. I just hope nothing tragic follows this.
Look at that. Look at the stage and the screen.
Yeah, so this was just another
like 4 screens and then the stage.
Yeah, this was essentially like Yeezy season 8 type of like.
It was
show.
Nothing there.
See, this is like,
and then in the back, that one screen in the back will change to whatever award.
This minimalist shit reminds me of like a fucking.
It's dope in some aspects, but not for everything.
A Kubrick movie or some shit where it's just like Clockwork Orange. That's what this reminds me of. So
well, he
like
did say that.
He
did say that was set in the year 1698 or some shit.
He's being funny.
I know.
It was 69, 18. So it's year 18, but 69. Obviously.
Oh, okay.
So are these all like nominees? Who are these women?
Stars. Those are stars.
Are they up there the whole time?
Easy clothes.
Yes.
They're just standing there the whole night?
No, it was not. They pass out different awards, but I think that was the end. And is it like some of them had their tits out?
No dudes got any awards?
Who?
No dudes got any awards?
If Kanye's there, hell no.
Why do you care if dudes got awards?
I don't either.
Equality, man. It takes 2 to tango.
It does.
The
truest statements have ever been said.
It looked weird.
It does look weird. I wouldn't have him come back.
This was cute.
So what do we think about him going out? Because Kanye's not about to smoke. So he went on his rant a couple days ago apologizing to Drake, which is funny because we never seen pretty much people like to go after Drake, but nobody really tries to kneel to Drake. Like he basically bowed the knee. He bowed the knee to Drake.
I know Push is pissed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like, what the flying fuck?
No, I don't think Push,
some of those
I don't think Push cares.
What?
I don't think Push cares.
Because
I don't think this is your idol. You just fucking slaughtered this man. You killed him.
I look at it as
bending the knee.
I've always looked
at it as Kanye patronizing Drake. Like, all right, like you know what I'm saying? It's like when it's like when you
hug didn't look like that. Hug looked like he really was trying to.
No, it's like when you playing a game of 1-on-1 against a nigga. You squash the nigga 9-1. He was like, all right, you gonna get better, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like
you think Kanye really is capable right now with the way he's moving and he's thinking like that?
As soon as he said those tweets talking about and like, no, we need to squash all the beef. I thought that was patronizing.
No,
I thought it was patronizing.
Kanye doesn't. He has had no beef.
To me, that's the reason why I think Drake kept sending shots. You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye did that.
No, because Drake, Kanye, literally has had no smoke with anybody his whole career. He's not going to go back and forth with you. He's not going to make a diss record. He has no subliminals in none of his music. Listen to his music.
He's not that guy.
He's not that guy. Drake's his whole career is built off of that. It's like playing like, listen, you guys keep treating me like I'm the underdog. I'm really the top dog. So he's always defending his spot. Kanye's never really defended his spot. He's just like, I'm the best because I said I'm the best. Sure. That's it. And nobody's challenged him because nobody
with you niggas.
Exactly. Kanye, and nobody's challenged Kanye because rapping wise, a lot of people can smoke Kanye. It's not even going to be a battle for a lot of these rappers. So, but they kind of it was okay with Kanye doing it because they knew that Kanye really didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of said it. But Drake is used to taking shots and giving them back. Like, he's going to dish you. And he's back with French Montana, and that's where a lot of the diss records come out with when he's with French for some reason. And then that's when the bar came out about the 350s. Like, he's like, yo, you ain't chilling with me with the 350s on. We don't do that over here. Like, the checks over stripes. Like, Drake is not going to stop. No. So it just seemed like he seen these things come out, and he wanted to address that. Yo, this is my brother. We was going to do songs together. That was genuine. Ain't no patronizing. Like, he don't know how to patronize like that.
That's what, I don't think he's working on that
level.
We
know his work level. When he was up there at the fucking radio station talking about something, I'm wearing a Dickie suit. With, like, he's paid. You can tell when he's trolling.
Kanye's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying that until he gets to He's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And
without a shadow of a doubt.
That's why I don't think he's patronizing, because he's on he's not comprehending
he doesn't like when he's when the aggressive is getting at him. And man, Kanye, you need to get the fuck out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hip hop. You're gonna be in the sport, that's gonna happen. Don't apologize for somebody else saying like, oh, I should have squashed it with that's when I think he fucked up with Pusha T. Don't get involved in that.
Yeah.
If you felt like you fucked up, like all that, I never talk about your kid, I would never do that. That's when I knew he wasn't joking around. Like, don't mention those things. You're trying to clear your name.
He really kind of like...
Nah, Drake is on your ass, nigga.
I feel like it just, the visual of it just really looks like he kind of like...
Gave some info.
Well, I do think after you said, I do think that he did give some info to Pusha, but I think, like, for Pusha,
the niggas live right down the street from him. Of course he gave info.
If I'm Pusha T, I think I'd be feeling a sort of way if Kanye is doing this shit. Because it was just like, just 2 months ago.
Playing both sides?
Yeah, that's fucked up, man, because, like, Pusha obviously doesn't like fucking Drake. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't...
Like Drake said that checks over stripes line on the Travis.
Kanye's not good at it, though. Kanye's not good at it. People do. You're absolutely right, but Kanye's not good at it. It hurts him. It hurts his, like, image. It hurts his fucking... I mean, to me it does, at least. I think he should just... I don't know what the fuck Kanye should do. He shouldn't be doing fucking porn award shows. I'll tell you that, though.
As long as he keep making music. I like the new song he got with Pump. As long as he keep dropping, like, dope shit. I don't care what he does. You know, I don't care what he does. I don't care how he feels. So just be good at what you're good at.
Not porn.
Obviously. I don't know. I mean, his sister, his wife is pretty experienced in porn. Why didn't they have her do that? Would have been like the ultimate troll. That would have been the ultimate troll. They have Kim Kardashian be like the creative director.
I think you would have got more eyes, though. I think more people would have been like, oh, from the White House to the AVNs.
Bill Clinton would have bought out the whole first row.
Yeah, he's another wild one, that Bill Clinton. He gets away with some weird shit, man.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about Colin Kaepernick and the Nike?
Oh, he's got the win of the fucking cinch right now.
Shout out to Nike for choosing to be on the right side of history.
Well, I guess he was always signed to Nike. They never really dropped it.
They were just like, oh, look at his contract.
But no, I think they kind of had to like run their numbers. I mean, it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. Nike does shit for business. They sell shit during November for Salute the Troops. Mm-hmm. You know, they also sell, the breast cancer awareness shit. They do the special sneakers for that. They all profit off all these causes. They do the Black History Month shit. They do the gay pride shit. Mm-hmm. So like Nike did the numbers, and they seen that. And people got to realize, like,
live strong. Don't forget to live strong.
Live strong. They'll pump that crack if you know what I'm saying. They'll sell that crack if they have
people
to.
That want it.
I just feel I have to say this. Like, I have to commend Nike because not only like just the timing of everything, saying like this is like fresh off when they signed that 10-year deal back in March.
Yeah,
they signed a 10-year deal back in March when like the NFL can't do nothing if they try, and they waited till after like
but those is like the deal is not that the NFL like it's like a mutual thing, so it's not really like the NFL can do something.
If they wanted to end it, could they?
Yeah.
Okay,
they'll find a way. They both got money.
It's still
you got money. You got money.
It's still great timing because right now we're in the thick of this fucking collusion case. You know what I'm saying? It'll look crazy for the NFL now to do anything about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
They couldn't do it because of that, because of the other shit that's
what I'm saying. Shout to Nike. Like, they knew what they were doing.
But who would NFL, if the NFL did leave Nike, where would they go?
They can go to anybody. Go to Under Armour.
Yeah, they just got Nike back.
But
they wasn't with Nike all the whole time.
All these other like sneaker brands are kind of doing like this, like they're fucking with the culture and like all these. You know what I'm saying?
And they always will because there's money in it.
Because that's the heart of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you drop like 10,000 pairs of a certain shoe, and people pay $200, like $200-300 a pop. And
I just think that people are gonna. I think I can see companies seeing what Nike's doing and saying,
But they always have.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think, and in doing that, I don't think NFL's gonna have like where are they gonna go if all these other companies start doing it?
They can go to
Under Armour
Adidas. They would probably go to Adidas next. Didn't
Adidas
have the NBA jerseys before like 2 years ago?
They'll probably go to Under Armour. Football will go to Under Armour.
Yeah.
I feel like they make better football stuff because they make all the Under gear. And they do all the shit for the combine. They have the contract for the NFL combine.
They got that rock contract too.
They do got the rock contract. Nobody buys it though.
So, question.
No.
Seeing how
I'm glad because I want to get cheap.
The clothes is okay. I don't know about them kicks though. No. That Brahma bull on the back. You ain't gonna catch me with the Brahma bull on my kicks. Fuck out of here.
So, question: with all these angry white people burning their clothes and their monarchs and all this shit while they're wearing it, would it be safe to assume that they
ain't burning no heat, so nobody cares?
No. Will the monarch still be Nike's number one shoe?
No. Yeah, you think so?
Because people live in a silo. So NFL is it's a country thing. It's like a USA thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the NFL doesn't translate throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? Like Monarchs are big because they sell all over the world. Like they're just dad shoes in general.
The States.
Yeah, like people gotta realize Nike's a worldwide company. They're big. You don't see NFL stars go to fucking China in the off season. You see LeBron have to go to China in the off season. You see Steph Curry has to go to China. All these players have to go because the NBA is a worldwide sport.
Has a bigger reach,
they have a bigger reach around the world.
NFL does like two games outside the country. Like
and nobody likes them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they
always pick the terrible teams to go to London?
They always
because they don't.
None of the good teams want to go. Because none of the teams that are primetime TV. Yeah, they're like, we're not doing that shit.
Why would we go over there in Mexico? Like we'll play like a game in Mexico now. But even that is,
the Patriots ain't going to Mexico.
It's a very USA market. So, like, football is a USA thing. So, like, I'm sure, like, Nike's done the math 5 or 6 times over. And they seen the opportunity because, like, they talked about the online sales went up, already, 21% based on the Kaepernick thing. So, they already knew this would test well. They tested it. Like, Nike didn't just pull this out their ass.
Wait, hold on. You're asking about the Monarch shoe. No, I'm not talking about Nike
I'm talking about the Monarch in general.
Actual shoe.
They'll still buy it. There's a lot of dads that just don't know.
Still fuck with still a good shoe?
I guess. It's solid. It's out there, baby. If not, we'll buy it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll make the Monarchs hard.
I'll keep it at number 1. Why not? Why not? They make a ton of it. They sell it in like fucking the footwear store in the mall, The little off, like DSW or some shit. So I don't know. I feel like the thing with the Kaepernick stuff is that we always got to remember it's a business first for Nike. Like, let's not get it twisted that Nike's like all of a sudden
they're not they're not in for justice.
It's some ethical thing that they're doing. They're doing it because they know there's opportunity in it. But good thing for Colin Kaepernick because at the same time, like, he wasn't really getting paid, and what he's really trying to do, because I guess he was really putting up his money, and he was really out there doing the work. He was out there really walking the walk. That stuff becomes tyrant, and it also needs money.
Adds up.
Yeah, and he ain't making no money, and he ain't make that much money in his career. He was starting to make money. He was due to make some money, but he was, eventually let go. So it was a good opportunity for him to just kind of keep going with them and restructure the deal so he can get some money. And hopefully they'll put some proceeds into whatever fuck he's doing.
That's part of the deal, actually.
Yeah.
Proceeds go towards like
his foundation and stuff.
And that's what probably is most important to him because he looks like he's really taking it serious and walking the walk.
Well, he's kind of. I mean, he's in a position where like he
But even if
he brought this to fruition, like
he's about to bust their ass in court. Like, come on, like I said, John Elway just sat there and made it worse because now they have a fucking timeline to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of 32 fucking teams that holds at least bare minimum 50 guys a pop, you mean to tell me there's not one position on any of them motherfucking teams? Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the NFL, they look crazy right now.
I know.
It's not going to kill
one
him.
of the best 64 quarterbacks in the league. Like, we've seen some of them bums out there. I mean,
and that's not necessarily saying he's a good quarterback either. I just want to make that clear.
He's one of 64, though.
One of 64, yes. I was listening to an old episode of Bill Simmons. I don't know if I sent it to you. Where they were just talking about like the role of the quarterback has changed so much.
Yeah.
But like quarterbacks are trash now. Like the last 10 years, like quarterbacks have like. Geno Smith is the first one I think of as a Jets fan. Like, he was fucking terrible. You know what I mean? And, like, so
Kaepernick not very top-heavy.
No.
It's like it drops off. It's like 1 through 4 or 5, and then it just drops off.
Yeah, they have
all older dudes who are fucking.
The first 5 are really good, and then everybody else is just like
like the quarterback scene is like like the world heavyweight title. Like you just drop that in the middle of the pay-per-view, and nobody would care.
But in saying all that though, I think that just justifies more reason why he should have had a job because he probably was better than most of those fucking players.
You know what I'm saying? The quarterback isn't even for most drafts, they usually get a offensive lineman or somebody first. They usually draft them first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might not draft the quarterback till later in that first or second round or something like that.
So I think another thing too, like, it's never really put out there how people feel about Kaepernick not being in the league. It's always from the perspective of the people who are supposedly offended. It's always spoken about like, well, NFL is declining because people don't want to see people protesting, or it's really insensitive for, Colin Kaepernick to, protest or anybody to protest the flag. But it's never spoken about the other side, and I think that's an opportunity that the NFL is missed out on because there's a lot of people that I know they're boycotting the NFL because Kaepernick is not in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not always about like, well, I'm not watching the NFL because they protest. And you'll see the signs out there like, until you support the flag, we're not showing the NFL in this, establishment. But how do you think the people feel that don't want to look at the establishment until they sign a person that didn't do anything wrong?
Yeah,
and
they still deserve.
That's the reason why I haven't sat other than the Super Bowl. Like, I haven't sat down and watched the game in like 2.5 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made a vow not to watch any game until Kaepernick wins his case.
Yeah, I don't want him to settle out of court either. Yeah. And I don't want him to take. And it's not about the money and taking him to the cleaners.
I think it's about the statement.
Exactly. It's always about the statement that you guys, because they got the money. It's nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all billionaires, so it's like. But the fact that they wouldn't include this guy because basically they don't agree with the politics of it. It wasn't about the kneeling of the flag. It wasn't about the disrespect to the military. The guy actually wrote a letter. I think his name is, I wrote it down, Nate Boyer, the veteran that he spoke to. Yeah. He actually wrote up and stood up with Cap and Nike for doing this move. And so it's not about that. And there's a lot of veterans that came out and was like, listen, I support Kaepernick,
Pat Tillman's family came out and said, yo, stop using him.
They don't want to be involved.
Stop using him for your fucking agenda. Stop that.
Yeah. They don't want to be bothered with the NFL at all.
Stupid shit.
Yeah, it's like you guys are profiting. And that's the thing with the NFL, and that's what I'm saying. They profiting, too, off of this shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, this draws attention to them, and you're mobilizing a certain population of people and fans for what? You're exciting them for what?
Yeah.
Just don't show it. You guys were getting paid by the military to actually have that event at the beginning of the game, to show the flag and the Star Spangled Banner. So...
don't act like you're all fucking high and mighty.
And you're not supposed. So it's some weird rules, and I looked it up this week earlier about the flag and the anthem. So the anthem, yes, you got to stand at attention, or you stand towards the flag. But the flag is often misused by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because one, you can't put it on clothes. It's not to be sold. Or
can't use it for merchandise and none.
Yeah,
really.
It says it in the code, in the law. It's not for merchandising. You're not supposed to profit off of it.
There's mad shit that has the flag on it.
Yeah,
like mad shit.
Yeah, you can't put it on your drawers. Don't have it on your website.
You can go into any store and find something.
Yeah, there's so much shit that doesn't make the fine print. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole nother third verse. There's a whole nother third verse to the anthem that nobody ever hears.
Yeah, because that's the racist verse.
Truth isn't the truth.
truth isn't the truth.
You know the ice cream song is racist too?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure, we on the same page here.
So Nas did a weird IG rant on Khalees.
About when?
Last night.
Was he high?
Probably drunk. Maybe.
I could
probably
drunk. Opioids?
Nah, Nas is, well, he smokes weed, but he's definitely a fucking Hennessy drinker. Like, he's always drunk. Like, all his selfies is because he's drunk.
Hennessy, man. Pass that Hennessy.
Like, when you see a Nas picture of a selfie, he's usually dumb, twisted, and it's a bad angle. Like, he takes the worst selfies. So, but, Nas, like, I guess he's fed up with Khalees going after him. And I told people, like, yeah, it's the same thing with, like, the Emily B shit with Fab. Stay out of that shit, man. Stop having a fucking comment ready to cancel people. You don't know nothing about the fucking story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what's happening. Like, Nas shit. And I'm not saying, like, just like that little Venn diagram we talked about. There's Nas's circle, there's Khalees's circle, and somewhere where they overlap, that little spot is the truth. So we're never going to find that out. But, like, I'm not saying Nas is innocent in this by all means, and I'm not saying Khalees is lying or she's innocent. But they got some shit going on. Apparently they got real legit
let
issues.
them work it out on their own.
Yeah.
I just hate seeing my heroes like that. Like, bro.
Put
I'm
it in
saying
the song.
the only thing I could think of was like, yo, Hov isn't doing this.
Well, no, yo,
like,
this is
Hov got outed a whole album, and still was walking around like.
This is what I was saying before about how motherfuckers like use like their social media and shit. It's like we are living in a time where we can share these like experiences with people that we should not be sharing with. Like we should be dealing with shit, and like there's a reason why people have secrets. Like, it's healthy to have secrets. It's healthy to have things that other people don't know about. It's a form of power. It's a form of control that you don't normally get in the rest of your fucking life. Putting that shit out there, you are leaving yourself fucking open to all these fucking vultures and fucking leeches and all these opinionated fucking assholes that just poison the fucking well with just crazy parents. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of learned that relatively recently because I've always felt like I was, like, kind of too open. You know, so I mean, I guess I use that as like a defense mechanism, so that like, yo, if you have a problem with me, like, I should be able to know what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide nothing from you. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? People could try and turn around and use that shit against you.
Yeah,
So
man. Like it's just we just shouldn't be doing shit like this, man. Like I hate to sound like that guy, but like it's because this is what fucking happens, and people like make these fucking stances, and now. If enough people fucking believe it, it becomes true. And with no fucking fact or any other thing to fucking support it. And now fucking Nas gets fucking drunk and goes on Instagram and has a fucking rant. And we want to know why he got to this point.
like a hoe. Like, bro, you're like 40.
He was out there talking like a little female.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just want to see my son.
Like,
That's all he had to say.
I'm not saying you can't, like, cry. Like, I'm not saying that. But don't do that shit.
Do
I want to see my son.
Did anybody else find it annoying when people do that? They post those long fucking, like, rants on rather be on Facebook or IG. They always pick that one word that they just do in all caps. Like, yeah, and I always. But don't you hate when niggas do that shit?
Because you read that word first.
Right.
Now you gotta go reread the whole damn
like,
thing.
as soon as I see niggas
Stop doing that.
As soon as I see niggas do that shit, I stop reading immediately. Exactly. You see, like, whenever niggas do that, you know they on some bullshit. You know they on some bullshit. They lying.
I actually had to read that shit, man. I felt bad reading it. I was like, damn, why am I reading this? But it was on the timeline, and I was like, I'm gonna kick myself in the ass if they delete it. Yeah, because I was thinking that too. It's like they're gonna delete it. I'm like, I seen it, but I didn't see it, so I read it anyway. And I was just like, man, I get it. Like, he was silent for all these years, and she was out there, and it's hard when people are like accusing you of shit that you're saying that you never done.
Hov would have put it in a song. Hov would have made it 2 bars in a song and left it at that.
But you got to let that hurt go, man. And I know you want to see your son, but you went to court. She still ain't let you see your son, so let the courts deal with it.
I mean, you have recourse, bro. Like, you have legal.
I've abandoned my boy.
Like,
I've abandoned my child.
Somebody needs to be like, Nas, go get the fucking cops. Just call fucking
Shot the Famo said, cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid.
Nobody's heard that song since. Consequence Son got more spins off that song than he did. What a terrible fucking album. That shit aged so bad.
Yeah, it aged like an Olsen twin.
That shit spoiled quick.
That shit was left out potato salad.
Fucking milk and 80s and cream.
Day old pizza.
Yo, you know what I just
That shit was a dry pork chop.
They put a record on at the club. Niggas look at the DJ.
Right.
When did this come out?
Right. Cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid. Like, yo, if I wanted to be a dick, like, I would just use that as my ringtone and just have niggas call me while I'm around Nas. Like, just keep calling me with that shit, cop shot the kid. Like that episode of The Office with Andy's phone and Jim threw the shit in the ceiling. And the nigga just kept listening to his ringtone. Like, I would do that shit with Nas and cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid, cop shot.
Oh, shit.
Yo, the shit that you have to accept when you're working with Kanye. You knew that was a piece of shit beat, but you sat there and listened to him too.
Damn, yo.
Like, yeah, guy. Yeah, I got something for this guy.
So when Nas was like, yo, you got dropped from your label? I helped you when Star Trek dropped. Yo, it was a couple joints when I was crying. Let me pull it up now.
That is crazy. You know you got to be a fucked up individual because Pharrell doesn't drop anybody, like, at all. Like,
Wait, he dropped...
Khalees. Apparently he dropped Khalees. That lets you know it has to be your behavior.
You were hard to work with.
I don't ever remember Pharrell ever saying like, yo, I'm not working with this artist no more. Usually when he loses artists, it's usually because of some label shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when he lost the Clips, it was a label dispute. It was somebody else he lost. But like that's usually what it comes down to. Like you have to do a lot in order to piss off Pharrell.
He was like, I stopped talking to Jungle and Steve Stout because of you. Yo, Nas was in his bag.
Yo, he stopped talking to Jungle? Wow.
His own brother.
That's gonna be some mean pussy to make a motherfucker change gods.
Yo.
He wrote a caption on all of them. You made up stories about me and claim I did things that you did.
Yo.
You beat my
Khalees had that fire. Yo, Khalees had that fire. Yo.
He said you beat my ass?
Yo, but
this is what I'm talking about.
Yo, to make a nigga stop talking to his brother, your pussy game gotta be A1, son. Shout out to Khalees.
That happens all the time, man.
Khalees had the sunshine.
Yo, my milkshake.
She had that sunshine.
Yo, when he said that, I should have known from your first record. Yo, I fell out. I fell the fuck out. He was like, I should have known from your first record. I hate you so much right now. He actually wrote the title. I said, yo, Nas is in his bag.
God damn, man.
Yo, BT.
Shouts to Hov, man. All he did was just release a platinum record about this shit. He said, no.
It just kept it moving.
I'm not going to Instagram with this shit.
Yo, BT definitely needs to do this movie.
Yeah, you used to turn my phone off so my professionals couldn't reach me and take out the battery.
Wow.
That sounds like abuse.
Yo, Khalees was in her bag, too.
They gotta have Khalees and or Nas show up in the next fucking BET biopic so they could chain all this together somehow.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And have like a BET Avengers type thing. Be like a telethon or some shit. They have like a...
That should have culminated at like fucking Summer Jam or some shit.
No. There ain't nothing like
holla at us, BET. Bob Johnson, holla at us.
We got some ideas.
I'm trying to find when he actually said that shit. He said some crazy shit on here, though. Nas, man, they should have took your phone, bro.
Yeah, as soon as I saw there was a part 7, I said, nah, my nigga, I'm not. I don't want to look at I don't want to look at my hero differently.
Here it is. He's like, didn't want to bring up money, but since you
since you asked,
but since the fuel behind all of this, let me say that I gave you the tools to be successful. After you was dropped from your label, I paid for your cooking school.
Nas definitely sounds like the old head that just signed up to Facebook 2 weeks ago.
Yo, how you tell somebody I paid for your cooking school? Like, she was a platinum selling artist. He was like, yeah, you should be a chef, though. He said that expensive.
You're not good.
I died when he brought that up because I forgot that she was on like the cooking channel and shit. Like
she was?
Yeah, that became a thing.
She had a show?
Yeah, she was on some shows. Like
he said,
I don't know if she had a show, but she was on some like cooking shows.
He said that expensive yellow stove we flown from Europe. I helped pay for that and remodeled your house. Yo, Nas was he was going in.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's that, man. Let me stop getting on Nas because he is one of my favorite rappers all time, man. But this shit had me dying, man. And in the comments, they was going after her, yo. I just want to see my son. Shout out to Jody. Anything we missed?
No, I think we good. It covered everything.
I'm content.
Shout out to Kamala Harris. That's about it.
So my God, she's beautiful.
Kamala Harris, yeah.
Yeah. I started following her today.
Really?
Yeah.
I started following the girl from that used to be on My Wife and Kids, the little young one. She's grown now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Parker.
I seen her she's
she's something else.
keep her away from Drake.
Yeah, I always look too. I was like, yo, is Drake following him?
yo, I was on Instagram the other day, and someone had like someone I was following had like a video, so I like clicked on who the video was from, and the first thing I saw, it was followed by Champagne Poppy. I was like, nope.
Yep.
I was like, nope.
We know about you.
Yo, he's something else, man. He's a savage. Man.
Is he still with Georgia Smith? Or is that like I don't know?
Drake
Drake doesn't think of relationships as a construct.
I ain't see Drake. I ain't see Champagne Poppy liking the pictures, but I seen Doc liking it.
Damn.
This kid is growing up, man.
Damn, really? Shouts to Tipsy Socialite with the most Tipsy Socialite tweet ever. Never heard of Mac Miller, but it's always sad when someone dies young, unless you're a Trump. Hashtag sorry to the not sorry.
Oh, man.
I was going to zip my mouth right now.
Isn't me does or do tweets get negated when you put sorry, not sorry?
Yeah, because
like, sometimes doesn't it just drain? They feel like it drains the tweet when you do that. Like when you put a
like
sorry.
Brandon said, everybody's looking for the hot take.
Right.
Not necessary.
Like that's a good tweet. You just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you put too much salt in it. Like, oh no, like it's fine.
This is not up for debate.